Hysterical. Oh, and you got all love only, forgive everything, you got it all. Okay, so how comfortable are you? That's hysterical. So how comfortable are you with that idea? Thank me. Yes? Hold on, I'm just looking for my talk. Here we go. Hold on. I know I sent it to myself. I always do. Uh-oh. You might get me unscripted. That's a little scary for y'all. Hold on, it should be right here. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. And I probably will barely look at it. There we go. See what happens when Barbara goes on vacation? See, Barbara? She's watching from wherever she is on vacation. So when I first got that song sent to me, so Donia sent me the song, and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wow, you know, there was a time when people called this religion very self-centered. And I'm just feeding right into that. You know, just everybody thank yourselves, thank me. But I thought about it, I thought, that's one of the biggest problems with most people. They don't love themselves enough. They don't know how great they are. And I mean they, meaning me, you, us. We really don't know, which is why I want this month to really be all about that. And last week I gave you 3 things to do. Every day I asked you to do something for yourself, something that excited you, something that blessed you, right? And I was talking to somebody this week, and this is what they said to me. I said, so how's that going? Are you doing all 3 things? They went, I'm sorry, what were those 3 things again? I said, that's the first wrong thing to say to me. What were they? Okay, I said, so, although I was nicer the way I said it, I think. And I said, it's every day do something nice for yourself. And this person said, and they said, who has time to do something nice for themselves? Can you imagine what I said next? But actually I didn't. I was like, wow, that makes perfect sense. How many of you found it difficult to every single day take the time to do something nice for yourself? Nobody had a problem doing that? Thank you back there. The rest of you are like, I didn't remember to do it, so it's not an issue. It can be difficult to remember to do something nice for yourself. Number 2 was notice when you are dissing yourself. Notice when you have negative thoughts about yourself. Now, show of hands. How many people here at some point this week do you think you thought something less than about yourself? I know, right? It is an epidemic. We walk around judging ourselves and thinking things about ourselves that we wish we didn't think. But another show of hands, how many of you, knowing that goes on, paid attention to it and really slowed it down or lessened it? Great. The rest of you, get with the program. So, number 3 was create and expand your spiritual practice. To find a way for you to really tap in to the truth of who you are. Because at the end of the day, it really is about, do you love yourself enough to live the life you say you want to live? And the truth is, the only way you're going to get to live the life you want to live is by loving yourself enough to actually doing it. So that's where we are today. So Ernest Holmes, the title of my talk today is Open at the Top. And the reason why my title is Open at the Top today is because when I got towards the end of the week, I just didn't have a talk title. I knew what I wanted to talk about. And then someone asked me or actually instructed me I needed to write an essay about Open at the Top, about Ernest Holmes. I needed to write an essay about our center, who we are, why we are, and what we teach. So, oh, that's beautiful, Jonathan. Just beautiful. So I took his autobiography, Open at the Top, and wrote this essay. And as I'm reading it, this quote came up. Man must always remain open at the top for new insights. Now, here's the deal. How can you remain open at the top when you don't know you have a top that's open? Think about it. How can you even conceive of the idea of being open at the top if you don't know who you are? If you don't know that you are all of this, that every mountain peak there, we always talk about, I can get to the top of the mountain. You know what? That's low compared to universal height. The top of that mountain is just another vantage point. That's it. But above that is the infinite wealth and breadth and depth of the universe. That's who you are. That's who I am. So when Ernest Holmes says, man must always remain open at the top for new insights, he means you must always get to that place in mind where you not only remember who you are, but you stay out of the way of who you are. How many of you feel that you get in the way of who you are? Yeah. Suzanne, would you come up here and bring your quote with you for meditation? Do you have to look it up? Look for it? Yeah, the whole thing, the whole quote. So Suzanne at meditation this morning read this quote, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Come up and read it. Here, I'll give you this. Because there were only 37 people here for the meditation. Okay. So let's give them all that. All right. This is Suzanne Benoit, by the way, everyone. Oh. You didn't know you'd be up here, did you? No. So go ahead and read it.
Okay.
Who's it by?
Nikki Rowe.
Tell the microphone.
Nikki Rowe.
Go ahead.
She said, just be right now, here, and breathe. Stop questioning every little thing. Stop analyzing how it should be, and let go of the control you hold so tightly onto. Be very grateful and consciously trust the divine magic of yourself.
And the operative for me here is let go of the control you hold so tightly. Thank you, Suzanne. Oh, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah.
She want to comment from your seat. So let go of the control you hold on to so tightly. So this whole concept of knowing who we are to the degree that we allow. I mean, here's the thing. We can get confused and think that knowing who I am means now I'm in control. It's the exact opposite. Knowing who I am means, I know, Becky, you love this because we've had these discussions. And Dylan, knowing who I am means that I actually know I don't have to be in control of how it all works out. How many of you walk through life with that tight fist, really making sure everything goes your way? Yeah, well, you're actually here because we're actually here to find out that in fact, our job is to let go and not, you know that thing, let go, let God? Well, that would be for us, let go, let me. So I'm going to let go, but then I'm going to take it back up again. No, let go and let go of your smaller self that thinks it has to do everything and surrender to the highest part of you that can do everything. I can do so much when I step into the power of who I am, and I can do much less when I think I'm doing it, right? I can do so much less when I think I am in control of it. And most of you who don't know me probably still know that I have in the past had issues with control, as though, this is a tough room. They turn very fast. No, it's true, and there are still... Why am I saying it's true? You've already condemned me. So, no, but I've wanted to be in control of everything. Right, Jonathan? And now, the good news is, so I was running late this morning, which I don't know how that happened when I was up so early, but somehow it was 8:20 and I was still not out the door yet, and I'm supposed to be here at 8:45. So, but here's the difference. Usually I'd be like, oh my God, they're going to screw it up. Something's going to happen. I'm not there to tell them what to do. I have literally let go. Why have I done that? Because I understand that it's not really mine to control, it's mine to allow flow. And I've got Reverend Jonathan Zenz now who runs everything for me. So it's about using your mind in such a powerful way that you set your life up to be able to live you, not for you to direct it. That's what we're here to do. And the only way we can do that is by knowing who we are. So Henry David Thoreau said this: the world is but a canvas to the imagination. The world is but a canvas to the imagination. What that means is your life is waiting for you to imagine it, to literally picture it, and then to allow it to be what it is. So are you using your imagination to its fullest effect? I love Thor sitting there going, yep, I am. The rest of you, are you using your imagination? John Livesey, I know you are. John just got picked up by an international agent so that he can travel all over the world to be an inspirational speaker on helping people really know who they are. Yeah. That's using your mind. And this is somebody who, I hope you don't mind me outing you, but it's all good. This is somebody who how many years ago did you win that award? 4 years ago, he won the award as the #1 salesperson in all of Condé Nast. Right? All of Condé Nast. Flew him to New York, showered him with praise and I hope some monetary value. And then he was like, you know what? This is great. I've reached that pinnacle of the top of the mountain. I've reached that #1 slot. But I'm up here and you know what? I need to go higher. And so he gave it all up and decided to start and step into his own power and be who he knew he wanted to be. No longer working for somebody else, but letting what he is speak out. Now he gets to go all over the world and speak. That's what I call taking this teaching and living this teaching. So, are you using your imagination? Are you allowing your mind to imagine a life that you want to live and then living it? Because it's not just enough to imagine it. We have way too many people who paint beautiful pictures, but then don't inhabit that picture, don't live in that picture. So, of course, the famous Henry David Thoreau quote is, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams, live the life you've imagined." Here's the thing about that. We must go confidently in the direction of our dreams. You know, I have 2 children who are looking at colleges. One's behind the camera, one's sitting right here. They're both looking at colleges. I know the exact college each of them should go to. I do. And I can almost guarantee you it will be the 2 colleges they don't go to. Not because, and I don't even think I've told them. Have I told you which ones I think you should go to? Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. Okay. Anyway. So they have their own imaginations. They will decide clearly where they're going to go to college. They're going to make their own decisions. I did that beautiful baby naming service last week, and one of the things in there is reading from the Prophet by Khalil Gibran, where it says, "Your children are not your children; they have their own minds. Give them your love. Do not try to give them your thoughts. They have their own thoughts." So, great lesson to learn, living it a little bit harder, but it's one that I must live. And here's the other thing. I have my own thoughts. Why do I have to spend the time giving people what I think should be their thoughts when I'm not really living mine 1,000,000%? Because if you find yourself wanting to tell everybody about this science, about this teaching, and what you're doing, and you're not doing it, then that's because you're literally doing that spiritual bypass thing. You know, it's like, God is all there is. God will handle everything. Because here's the deal. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you've imagined. But once imagined, you must step into action. This month isn't just about you sitting back and knowing how brilliant you are. It's about once you know something, right, Kathy? Once you know something, you must take that and step into it, just like you do. Just like we all do to our own extent. So Charles Fillmore wrote this. So many people pray and pray and pray. So for us, that's spiritual mind treatment. That's affirmative thinking. You are praying every minute of the day. Every time you have a thought attached to a belief, which, by the way, you can't have a thought that is not attached to a belief. All of your thoughts are attached to some belief. Those thoughts attached to beliefs are your prayers because they go into a universal mind that says yes to whatever that is. You tell it you're afraid, it gives you a monster to look at. You tell it you're powerful, it gives you the opportunity to be powerful. That's the way our teaching works. That's the way the law of cause and effects works. So many people pray and pray and pray. He says, they don't get action. Our bodies need to be acted upon. It is not altogether praying, but it is doing that makes the difference. You must do something. So once you know who you are, once you reach that pinnacle, it's not okay to just stand there wherever you are. You must continue to climb. Not even climb. You don't even have to climb anymore. You just have to be willing to let who you are take you even higher. Every single one of us has the capacity and the ability and everything we need to take our lives into an even higher trajectory. Do you all believe that? Yes. I think you do, or you wouldn't be sitting here today. Ernest Holmes also said this, one's mind should swing from inspiration to action, from contemplation to accomplishment. from prayer to performance. Just think about it. I love this. Inspiration to action, contemplation to accomplishment, and from prayer to performance. So it's not enough to just speak these words and say, and so it is. By the way, we say, and so it is, because we believe absolutely that it is right here in mind, and if it's here in mind, it's there in form. So we don't say, and so maybe it will be sort of later. We don't, although I think some people are thinking that when they say, and so it is. And then, doesn't matter what your words are. It's what are you believing? You must get to the point in your using of your mind where you say, and so it is, and you mean it. You know how you know you mean it? You're actually stepping into it. You're actually acting upon it. You are actually doing what you're saying, and so it is about. If you ever find yourself saying, and so it is, and then hoping that it turns out, that's the missing ingredient. Everybody wants to know, what's the missing ingredient in treatment? Why do we learn this, talk about this, live this, and not be able to demonstrate? It's purely a matter of belief and action. Are you taking the action? So Jim Rosenmergy, he's a Unity minister, he wrote this. He said, action without prayer meditation leads to exhaustion. Anybody ever there? Where you take all the action, but you haven't done the work to be equal to it, so you're just killing yourself. Am I the only one? And you? Right? So, okay, thank you, Mark. So, action without prayer meditation leads to exhaustion. Prayer meditation without action leads to self-absorption. And I would say self-deception. You know, if you're just going to sit around and know the truth and not ever step into that truth, what's the point? I mean, really, what is the point? So, this week's action, what I want to ask you to do this week is this, I've given you those 3 things to do all month. But what I really would love for you to do as you are doing those 3 things is get honest with yourself about your life, about who you are. I've given an assignment this week to my Wednesday night class, to Ernest Holmes Then and Now, to write an essay called Who Am I? Who am I? A very simple little essay, but I make them only keep it to 2 paragraphs, so I don't have to read all day. But who am I? Okay? So what I'm going to suggest to you is you do a little work this week where you, as you continue to thank yourself and be grateful for who you truly are, and as those truths about you pop up, I would like you to take action. Really look at your life. Are you happy with every aspect of your life? Because I stand here every Sunday knowing and believing that if you want to change your life, you can. That's what this philosophy is all about. Ernest Holmes, I believe, started this philosophy to help people get away from the victim mentality of thinking God was out there telling them how their lives were supposed to go. And he really got it, as Jesus did, that there's only one thing going on, and it's the power of your mind. That's God. That's the creative essence. That's the imagination. The greatest tool you will ever have, the greatest tool you have right now, is your mind. So this week, I want you to take action with your mind. I want you to really step into using your mind better. Ernest Holmes says trained thought is far more powerful than untrained thought. A powerful mind is one that is awake, aware, and willing to step into action. So whatever it is in your life that you would like a better experience of, a better expression of, first of all, don't be afraid to look at it. Don't be afraid to look at whatever's not working. It's not, you don't have to live. I wrote on somebody's blog this morning in CPR. I said, it's okay to look at all this crap. Just don't pitch a tent there. Don't invite it all home for dinner. Look at it. But say, this doesn't work and this doesn't work. Now, if you're going to stay there and, this doesn't work and this doesn't work, and you just get all enmeshed in what's not working, you're expanding that. So your job is to use your mind this way. Okay, here's what I said I wanted. If you can go back and remember all the things you wanted to do and all the things you wanted to be in your life, and all the things that you still can do, still can be. I had a conversation with my daughter the other night, which she is so graciously repeated so many times to my benefit. And it was this. We were talking about Oscars and winning the Oscar. And she said that, what she said, she looked at Kevin and I and she said, you know what? I'm very proud that I came from two successful actors. You two have had really good careers in the entertainment business, and I will have a better one. I'm telling it the way I heard it. And she said, I'm going to have a better one. I'm going to take where you got to, and I'm going to even go further. And I said, I'm not dead yet. I said, I fully expect to win an Oscar someday. She goes, well, I'm going to win an Oscar too. I said, okay. I said, so which one of us wins if we both win Oscars? And I said that, actually. I said, so who wins if we both? No, she said that. And then I said, well, it depends. If I win for Best Actor and you're Best Supporting Actress, I win. If we're both up for the same level of award, can you imagine what this is our conversations about? If we're both up for the same levels, then, and if we both win, I win, age trumps it. So, but this is the conversation we're having, and I only bring this up, because she's mortified now, I only bring this up because why not? I'm 63 years old. I could win an Oscar at 100. I could be the first octogenarian. No, that's an octogenarian. What is it? Centurion. I could be the first centurion to win whatever, the first 100-year-old to win an Oscar. Why not? See, we keep thinking we are boxed in by what society has told us we should be, who we should be. We are being told, here's what you can do at this age, right, Eric? Here's what you can do at this age. Here's what you can do with that body. Here's what you can do looking that way. Here's what you can do with this level of intelligence. Because let's face it, you didn't get those straight A's when you were in high school, right, William? So, and people may think that's boxing you in. You may feel boxed in every time I say, I want straight A's. Do you?
I prefer not to be used as the example.
You know what? A's and B's are fine. So all of us have this, though. My family. Don't you all want to be a part of my family? So I can talk about you every Sunday. You are my family. That's right. I'll be talking about you all soon. So the point is, what is the point? The point is, every single one of us is more than we think we are. Would you all agree with that? Every single one of us has the ability and the capacity to be more than we are living out. That's the point of this month. For you to get very clear who you are and to be grateful for it, because gratitude expands. So when you look at yourself and you say, you know what? This is good. I like this about me. I am grateful that I am this person. Let that expand. Conversely, you see something, you go, I don't like that about myself, but I am powerful enough and strong enough to eliminate that no longer has power or play in my life. Bye-bye. That's it. That's the way we must use our minds. So that's what I'm going to ask you to do. As you do your three things, those of you who haven't done them, do it. I mean, really do it. Really take the time to do it. It's not enough to be here on Sundays and just listen to the message and celebrate with all of us. You got to take this and live it. If you don't put this into action, you are not going to live the results. Do the work, live the results. Use your mind as the powerful tool it is. Use it in a way that takes you towards what you want. Because here's the deal. What you truly want is right here. You become equal to it. In mind, you become equal to it. That's that book. You become the mental equivalent of the life you want, and that life shows up. That's how it works. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It is a pure science. It says yes the minute you say yes, so get at it and start saying yes. Namaste.